You can have a big vision and still need to get comfortable with moving through darkness. I'm Suzanne Rath, and you're listening to Endures for your daily dose of endurance leadership and life lessons. Now, I've spoken a lot before on the podcast about my work with helping people to become more adaptable and more resilient, and also with regards to the fact that we are living in a time of the slowest that change will ever be again. So we have AI reports coming out all the time. We've all of this hoo-ha over new softwares and productivity apps and what's going to take our jobs. We're living in a rapidly changing world. And a saying that I heard the other day really hit home with me. So it was that instead of saying constantly waiting for light at the end of the tunnel, we need to actually get comfortable with being in the dark. Now, as many of you will know, this time next week, I will be en route to Sydney for starting my run, 4 a.m. on Easter Saturday from Sydney to Newcastle. And I speak a lot about having a big vision, having the courage to set a big vision, actually naming what that vision is, right? To achieve our ultimate summits in life, to actualize our true potential, whatever that means to us. And I realized that sometimes we might get confused and think that having a big vision means that everything's clear, right? That you can sort of always see the summit, that you can always see the path. And that's just not the case. I mean, people that go to climb Everest only see Everest on a few days, either because of the route they're taking or because it's shrouded in fog. And it's the same for any of us in our business or our lives. So, to use the example of next weekend, the run I'm doing, I realize there is so much of it that I quite literally and figuratively will be running in the dark. So, there will be 2 nights that I will be running in the dark, hopefully not too much of 3, but possibly. And that's a bit of an unknown for me to do that whole night through the dark. I mean, I will sleep a little bit, but certainly not my normal 8 hours sleep in a nice, comfortable bed. And the second piece is I'm in the dark over so many things, right? Firstly, because there's so many variables, which I've spoken about before. But secondly, because 190 kilometers of the trail and, the road into Newcastle and the section on the road running out of Sydney to Lane Cove, I've never done. So I can read and learn and study all of the trail notes in the world, but it does not compensate for actually doing the thing. And it's the same in leadership and business. We can go on all of the courses in the world. We can read all of the books, study all of the things, and be able to quote the knowledge theoretically. But until we actually have to put it in play, we are completely in the dark. And so we have to gain the courage and the confidence to step forwards into the dark, knowing what our finish line is that we want to get to, knowing our summit that we want to get to, knowing it's there somewhere, and consciously taking steps in the right direction, not stepping off the path entirely or heading off for the crevasses or whatever. But we still have to step into the dark. So we have to be adaptable. We have to get comfortable with change. And so I invite you, if you're listening today and you're teetering around procrastination or waiting for something to happen or waiting for something to change or thinking that things will get better once you're less busy or once things settle down or, once you get that new hire, you'll do X, Y, and Z. I just invite you to think, where can you instead get comfortable with stepping into the dark? Thank you for joining me, and I will see you tomorrow for more from Endures. Bye.